The long wait for Euro 2020 is finally over. In the build-up to the big kickoff, we are doing something special. We have scoured the Twitterverse to find a representative from each of the 24 nations competing in this summer's European Championships. We will be recording a preview with each representative who will be sharing views on their nation's hopes and expectations throughout the tournament, and most importantly, the fantasy assets we should be looking out for. Welcome to Euro 2020 Happy Hour. Hello and welcome to our Euro 2020 preview series with myself, Sham, otherwise known as FPL 2 Guys 1 Cup on Twitter.
And myself, Rob, otherwise known as FPL Panda.
Tonight, Rob, we have another guest who is representing a country that has qualified through the Nations League, and that is Hungary, and our rep, David. Welcome, David.
Hello, guys. It's lovely to be here.
How are you?
Buzzing to start. Yeah, a bit excited.
Nice.
I have to say that I really welcome your idea to go through all the nations, and this is a huge project. I understood, and even taking the time and effort to dive deep into all of these countries, and even taking the effort to represent and have the possibility to talk about the small countries as well, such as Hungary. So yeah, amazing to be here.
No problem. Thank you for coming on. So, David, do you want to tell us a bit about yourself? What football team do you support? What do you do? How old you are? And if you play FPL?
Yes, sure. Of course, I'm playing FPS, so this is why we have been connected via Twitter. And yeah, I'm playing this game passionately, and I can consider myself as a FPL enthusiastic. This is my 10th season, playing this game quite long now. Have been able to sneak into the top 10K 2 times. Last one was last year, when I managed to get my best rank, which is inside the top 4K. Now this is a disastrous one, obviously. So this season is my worst, actually, sitting at 400K. But yeah, anyway. We will talk about a different subject here, so I'm
Nice.
I'm happy.
What football team do you support, David?
Manchester United.
Yeah.
Same as Rob.
Yes.
Right. So, David, let's talk about Hungary. You guys took a different qualification route where you ended up qualifying for the Euros. You didn't qualify from the normal route. You went through the Nations League. Do you want to talk us through a little bit about how you did in the original qualifying and how you did in the Nations League?
Yes, sure. So yeah, it was a long journey, and I would be lying if I would say to you that we totally got and totally understood the process, how this possibility is still live when we just missed the first opportunity qualifying from the normal group, and then we got into this Nations League group, and from that we even had to do playoffs as well. So yeah, we had to play a lot of games, and considering the original group, we really lagged world-class opponents. So Croatia was the biggest one, the toughest one, and after that, I would say Slovakia was quite on the same level, and yeah, these were the teams that we had to beat, and we started really well. We were top at halftime, but then the result just didn't come. So yeah, we had to take our second possibility. But the people in Hungary just consider this not really a big opportunity, just a second chance, let's say, or last chance on, to be there and qualify and keep fighting. So basically we just grabbed this chance, and at the end of the day, we were quite happy because during the playoffs we played really good games, 2 really good games, and the qualifying against Iceland on the final match was just amazing.
Nice. And how did you? What's your thoughts on the Nations League?
Yeah, this is just not the tournament that you wish to win, and I can understand your opinion about that. That this is not just the greatest tournament and maybe just a pain in the ass because nobody totally gets what is it going on. But for us, actually, or for such nations like Hungary, it's a good one because we are just playing with teams who represent the same quality or the same level of strength, and these games are really enjoyable. And of course, it's a great idea to replace the friendlies because yeah, they were pointless. The Nations League just one more level above that. So of course, it was not a thing that we understood how the qualification goes, but at the end of the day, we got lucky that we had this opportunity. Without that, we won't be here. So of course, Hungarian people are loving it now at the moment. So yeah.
Nice. So, I guess who throughout that journey from the qualification and the Nations League, who are your main players that really played well throughout that process?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, so you can see the names, the goal scorers here, and yeah, just nothing a standout player at first glance. Whenever we are talking about the team, the Hungarian team, and also the pundits at home, just mention the whole team in capital letters, not just a bunch of individuals. Um, the whole team is the one who is really performing well and performing together. Of course, this is not the greatest scenario for fantasy perspective, but we used a lot of players during these qualification periods. The team was rotated not because of resting perspective, but rather to find the right players. Now I would say that the starting 11, so 9 players out of the starting 11 would be quite sure to become a regular starter and will start at the tournament. But yeah, they will use the whole squad. And the standout players, of course, I have to mention at first place Soboslai, who is our main talent, young prospect, only 20 years old, and basically everybody is writing about him, and you cannot find an article collecting the European young talents without him. And actually, he was just really our main man and grabbed the opportunity, took the charge, lead the boys out, scoring really important goals along the way, and also just fulfill this playmaker role really maturely, despite that he's so young. Unfortunately, he was injured in the process, so couldn't play all the games. But yeah, definitely he has to be there. And of course, yeah, in this list, the second player who I would highlight is Willy Orban, who is a center back, but with 3 goals, he was our top scorer. So it's quite interesting. And actually, he has a really good sense to meet with these balls after corners, defensively and also attacking wise as well. So basically, if I have to really highlight individuals, these 2 players would be. But yeah, we have to consider the whole team as a compact one because yeah, this is how it works.
Okay,
Without world-class players. Yeah.
so we asked you for a talisman, your main player. It's interesting that you chose. So you chose. How do you pronounce it? Slovaski?
Soboslai.
Sabosli.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
only 20 years old. Where does he play? Tell me a little bit about him.
Yeah, so he just switched club in the winter time, coming from Salzburg, from Austria, and now he's the player of RB Leipzig, so playing in the Bundesliga. I will fix this like that. So he's, as I mentioned, yeah, really our main player now. The unfortunate thing that he got injured right after his move to RB Leipzig. So it was a mysterious one, some kind of muscle injury, and really could not play for them for months. And maybe that's why you never heard about him. But in the Austrian league and also in the Champions League, he participated and yeah, was not just a regular starter, but yeah, he was a game decider.
And he's fit now?
Yeah, he started to train now, so yeah, this will be a key period for them to gain his match fitness. But I'm really confident that they will do everything. He loves playing for the national team, so um, of course this will be his priority. And actually the coach just cannot leave him out. So I'm quite confident that he will play in the. Two friendlies before the tournament as well, so we will know more about him, of course. But yeah, this is basically our only chance to have him fit, and yeah, I'm quite confident that the timing will be right.
Okay, so let's talk from a fantasy perspective now, David. So, are there any players that, when we look at from a fantasy perspective from Hungary, bear in mind you've got the toughest group. Remind me of who you've got in your group.
Yeah, I understand your smile. So yeah, we were not kind of lucky regarding this draw. So yeah, we have the defending champions of the Euros, which is Portugal. We have the World Cup winners, which is France.
When you say it like that.
That's bad enough. Just those two.
Yeah, and lastly Germany. So yeah, as tough as it gets. Basically, we just yeah, couldn't imagine a worse group like this. But yeah, this is a huge chance to show ourselves to the world. And of course, when we are talking about the fantasy perspective, we have to bear in mind these kind of tough games, because we just we cannot name one game out of these that when we will have a actual chance to score more goals, or just to
Yeah,
be the favorite. We will be totally in the underdog role. And what also makes this prediction a bit difficult, that we haven't played with them. Uh, I mean, same level of quality teams for years now. Last time when we qualified to the Euros was 4 years ago, 5 years ago, sorry. We got drawn against Portugal as well, and we played a really entertaining 3-3 draw with them. And actually, we overtook them, so we qualified from that group, and was really overachievement, I would say. But realistically, if it will be 3 defeats, then nobody can say a word, because yeah, this is the reality.
fair enough. At
Uh,
least you're honest about it.
yes, and I think we have to be. The Hungarian sports media is usually just setting the expectations so high that it will be a disaster if we will not qualify from this group. But this is just crazy.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, this is this is
Wow.
why that usually these tournaments are really disappointing for us, because this is how they interpret it. But at least our coach is really realistic one. He's an Italian guy, Marco Rossi, and yeah, basically just set this team up so well. Um, of course, this will be a different role for us to sit back, and I'm quite sure that we will do that, and we will play with 5 defenders, I think, in all of the games. But at least the team has a character to compete with these big teams as well. And I quite see the possibility to grab a point from these 3 matches. So I think we will avoid 3 defeats, but yeah, let's see. So
That's quite optimistic.
yeah, it is. I know that, but at least the team is capable of doing that. So we managed to beat Croatia lately, and this was a comeback win against them. Of course, these teams a bit more higher in the pecking order from Croatia even. But yeah, we did this, and of course, the team will be set up to compete. And as I mentioned, we are really strong together. So as a team, if we will have Soboslai fit as well, then also a huge boost. So of course, what I also wanted to mention that against us, probably they will not push the gas that hard, and they will rest some players because this is their only opportunity to do that. And also, these players had really tough season with congested fixtures, also long season without much breaks. So
You're hoping
this,
you can exploit that.
yes. This is actually our takeaway from that, and our chance to do that. And yeah, lastly, we will play the first two games at home, and this is also a huge boost. So the Hungarian supporters are really famous to create a really good atmosphere. And
Are you going to be going?
yeah, I
Oh,
have.
you are.
Yeah. I have tickets for the game against France, and
Nice.
yeah, and I will also see France against Portugal. So yeah,
Nice.
this will be also hosted in Budapest. So yeah,
That'd be like that
I'm really
Good stuff.
looking
France-Portugal
forward.
game could be like a winner-takes-all kind of game as well.
Exactly.
Depending
Yeah.
on, I mean, there'll be. I think it's that sort of game will be one that because of the third place qualification, like you'll be watching results all over the competition to keep an eye out how that one works.
Yeah.
I know that you
Yeah.
mentioned
Yeah.
your coaching team and yeah, having a look through it, and like a lot of them are um, Italian coaches. Does that stand out in like the way that you think you'll play in the tournament, like that classic Italian defending that we all know?
Yeah. It's a bit different. Of course, this is the basis, let's say. So, and this have to be here as well against these tough opponents. But we could play really nice passing football, and yeah, to play this in some kind of an entertaining way. So this is not the one that we will just keep defending and let's do some counter attacks at the end of the game, and let's hope for that. I'm really sure that we will approach these games in a pragmatic way, and we will be seeking for the opportunity to have some attacks and also launch counter attacks at the right time of the game. So this will be a bit of a mixture, but I have to stress out once again that we haven't played such strong teams lately. So of course, maybe this will be our idea to approach the games, but we won't have a chance to do that. Yeah, it's up for us. But as a unit, we can defend as well. So yeah, this will be, I think, interesting games, and even for the neutral supporters to see how these teams will be able to crack our defense or not.
So knowing your group, David, let's talk about fantasy assets.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that we should be looking at, or is it a case of, look, you shouldn't get any players from Hungary?
Yeah, it's a tough task to make them appealing. Yeah, against these opponents. I mentioned Willy Orban, who scored 3 goals during the qualification as being a center back, and he's priced at 4.5. Definitely one who to look at. Also, our keeper Gulaci is also playing for RB Leipzig and being one of the best keepers in the Bundesliga. So he has also the quality, and of course he will have a tons of save points. This is sure. So those two can be tried from defense perspective, but of course the clean sheets would be just not really expecting the ones that can be expected. So it's, for me at least, if I'm putting aside my bias, I really don't want to pick a defender or keeper there where the clean sheets are really unlikely.
Okay. Anyone attacking then?
Yeah, attacking perspective. Soboslai we mentioned. He will be on set pieces as well, direct free kicks as well. He has a really good ability to shoot from distance, and he scored a couple of goals outside of the box. And yeah, in this game you will receive an additional point for that. So it's definitely something to consider. Regarding the others, who is maybe a bit under the radar is Shalai, who is playing for Freiburg, so he's also a Bundesliga representative. He's quite selfish player, which is good in terms of fantasy. He will take a lot of shots, and also he will definitely will be eager to score. He has a good form lately as well, so I would keep an eye on him definitely. Unfortunately, he classified as a striker, but he's drifting from the wing, so it's not
Okay.
ideal. He's not the one who is up top on the pitch. Who will be Adam Salai, but he's a really a controversial player, quite slow, and he can be there, he can score goals, but I wouldn't recommend him. So if you would like to pick someone from the attacking perspective, first place I would go for Soboslai. The second one, which can be a punt, a cheeky punt, this would be Shalai.
So I noticed that you got a couple of 4.0 start defenders. Are they starting defenders? Who are the ones that are going to be starting out of your 4.0 defenders?
Yeah, that's a good point actually, and yeah, we definitely have to mention Fiola, who is priced at 4.0, and he's a definite starter. Whether we will play 3 at the back or 4 at the back, he will play. Probably he will play as a um, at the flank. So if we are playing with 3 center backs, then he will be one of them. But also he can play on the wing, and in this way, an attacking or a goal involvement wouldn't be total nonsense. And yeah, definitely he's 4.0, and he will play. So Fiola, yeah, definitely. I missed that previously, but if the money will be an issue, then yeah, he's a good pick.
Okay,
The other,
sorry.
yeah, sorry, the other 2 figure starter will be Willi Orban, who I mentioned, and Attila Szalai, the other one from Fenerbahce, but he is priced at 4.5 as well. So yeah, these 3 of them are the sure starters.
Okay, and who's your penalty taker?
Has to be Soboslai. Unfortunately, we did not receive a lot of penalties to have this sample size. And last time when we received one, we awarded one, he did not play. But
Okay.
as I mentioned, that he's taking the charge and leading the team, he will be the one who will take that.
Okay. Rob, have you got any questions for David?
Normally it's me that gets to ask the penalty about the penalty taker, so you've stolen it from me. Is there anyone that, I mean, you mentioned Shalai, that he's a forward and he plays on the wing. Is there anyone that is maybe a defender that plays more in midfield, or a midfielder that plays a lot further forward, like more sort of like these outer position players, or is it are they the positions that the game have given these players like pretty accurate to where they should be?
Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't find anybody who is just classified as a different as he will play. Yeah, so there is no treasure hidden in this team like this. But one thing that just came to my mind, that also I saw that Nego, who is classified as a midfielder, and he's 4.0 as well, and I think being the only 4.0 midfielder in the game, and it's quite popular having ownership of 30% or something like that. But yeah, the managers have to know that he won't start. Is almost a sure thing. He scored a really important goal in the playoff final against Iceland, also coming from the bench. But as I recall that, we have to use our subs actively, and not just to have a bench for that. If you pick Nego, you will receive 1 point per game. This is almost secured.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I
That's
suppose
good to know.
because a lot of people, they'll look at like, who scored recently, or some people might even just see the playoff final and just go, oh look, he scored in the playoff final and he's only 4 million. Let's get him in and captain him. But it's nice to know. Don't do that.
So he's not a treasure neither, unfortunately. He's a really important player, but a squad player, I would say.
David, is there anyone from the beginning of the tournament that you're going to be picking from Hungary?
Of course, I will maximize the Hungarian slots. And
Really? Do you know what's so funny, right?
Fun.
So we've done, we're obviously we're recording these early, but so far you're the fourth one that we've done, and every single one has said that they're going to try and get some of their national team in, even if they're not necessarily, not necessarily bad assets, but not necessarily the best assets.
Yeah, exactly.
Who are you going to be picking?
Yeah, Szoboszlai and Sallai, definitely. And I will decide between the keeper Gulacsi or Willi Orban, the defender. So but I can understand these people. So I could control my bias during the Fantasy Premier League, but here no, I just won't do that.
That's fair enough. Do you think though that we should be picking them? So would you say, I know you're picking them because obviously you're Hungarian and that's great, and you want to support the national side and that's fine. But if like for me, who's not Hungarian, would you say there are good assets compared to the others that I should pick?
Yeah, so I was thinking about that, and of course I won't recommend somebody who is just not that good, but you have to select him because he's a Hungarian. For those managers, I have to also check the team setup, because of course I didn't finalize my draft, and I don't know how should this price structure work. But I think it's wise to have rotating keepers because you can use your subs actively. And I think Gulacsi could be one who is interesting because he's cheap. He's 4.5, and he can get a lot of points because of the saves. And of course the saves will be coming. And he's a world-class keeper. So he's really an elite player of ours. So who, if I would recommend somebody, then he would be it.
Yeah, because we were saying we've done the recording with the North Macedonian rep, and they've got a 4.5 keeper as well. And we're saying for people that like your cheap keepers, that would be a good rotating kind of keeper to have between the Hungarian keeper and the North Macedonian keeper, both 4.5.
It's a good idea, and I will seek something similar.
Okay, David, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about or add before we finish up?
Basically, I just would like to thank again the opportunity, and to be here. It was massive, and meet you guys. It's a good, really a good experience for me. And I also good luck with your project. Good luck in the game. And that's it. It was quite good.
Thanks for coming on, David. We really appreciate it. Rob, is there any questions to add?
I just wanted to ask one question. It just came to me. Can you describe I know that in your playoff final against Iceland, Szoboszlai, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Szoboszlai, yeah.
His goal was well into injury time, the winning goal.
Yeah.
Can you describe like the euphoria? Was there like how exciting it was?
Oh yeah, I have a memory about that because we had the tickets for that game, and because of COVID, the fans were just not allowed to enter, and it turned out 2 or 3 days before the game. So we were really disappointed to not see this game first. And we conceded a goal in the beginning of the game, and we were trailing till the 87th minute or something like that. So yeah, that's why I mentioned that we had character to overturn this game. First of all, we just scored the equalizer by Nego in the 87th minute. Yeah, we were dancing around everybody. Yeah, just texted each other, amongst friends, and yeah, we were just preparing for the extra time. And then Szoboszlai received the ball on the halfway line, and he just went to the outside of the box and scored a sublime goal. It was really amazing. We just couldn't really believe that, and yeah, it was fantastic. And it would have been even really much more better if we would be in the stadium. But yeah, we just take that. So yeah, it was a really good momentum. We can build on that. This is my feeling, and no, so I cannot really describe that with words, but yeah, it was once in a lifetime moment. Yeah, that's for sure.
Cool.
Nice. Right. Does that answer your question, Rob?
Yep. Yep. No, it's just
Perfect.
yeah. I obviously doing like I try and do a bit of research and watch some highlights, but yeah, that the moment I like, so I'm creating the graphics and that, and I don't put the minute of the goals in the graphics because it just takes up space. And I saw the minute of that goal, and I was like, "Oh, get on YouTube! I need to see how this played out." And yeah, it did look like one of those moments where you'd just be sort of jumping around your living room and things like drinks going flying everywhere. Just one of
Yeah,
those great
yeah,
moments.
yeah. We have a small baby at home, so I have to I had to consolidate myself and do that silently. But yeah, it was not simple.
Nice. So, David, thank you so much for joining us. Both myself and Rob really appreciate it, and I'm sure the rest of the community will as well. So we really appreciate you joining us today. To the listeners, thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe, and look out for our next installment. Have a great evening. Bye bye.
Thanks,
Cheers,
guys.
guys.
Thank you.
Bye bye.